The Sternberg family had been in the retail business in Germany since the 1700s, but in the 1930s, the Nazi movement changed everything. Erich Sternberg smuggled his savings and went to the United States to find a business to purchase. A year later, he was in Baton Rouge with an agreement to buy Godchaux's. He sent a coded message to his wife Leah to join him. She barely got out with her 3 small children. Joseph, Insa, and Hans would grow up in America.
My family was German, and the household was run in a prescribed way. In the work, it was all work, and at home, it was all family. We were an immigrant family, and they are a bit closer than those who were born here and just grew up here naturally.
Hans attended Nicholson Elementary, followed by Baton Rouge Junior High, and on to University High School. He went on to Princeton, where he earned a degree in economics. He was in the Navy ROTC program and enlisted in the service after graduation.
It was a great time. I got to see Japan, the Philippines, Hawaii. It was a terrific learning experience, maturing experience. And I, as a 22-year-old, needed some maturing.
Hans went to work briefly for Foley's in Houston before joining the family at Godchaux's in Baton Rouge.
I had it easier than Joseph did. Dad had learned a lot with Joseph. Pretty much just worked with Dad and my brother. My dad was there every day, worked the floor. Success was the most important thing to me. Buying something and seeing it sell, that was a lot.
While visiting Texas with his brother, Hans met his future bride, Donna. The first date was a little different.
We decided we were going to drive to Sherman, Texas, which is about 450 miles away. And I was in a rented car. It was the most expensive date I had ever had.
Eventually, the couple married and raised 4 children: Eric, Julie, Deborah, and Mark.
I had wanted 6 children, and then I kind of chickened out after 4. And Donna was wonderful. The children have grown up to be what they are primarily because of her. We are one life, Donna and I. It's not like what she's done for my life or what I've done for her life. I think it's our life.
Hans's father died in 1965. Leah turned the decision-making over to Joseph and Hans, but held a family meeting at her home almost every night.
We would have tea and cookies and talk about the business and talk about what was happening in the world and spend half an hour, 45 minutes there.
Hans and Joseph were inseparable and became well known for their style of management by walking around.
We looked upon the sunnier side of the business, and so when things didn't go right, our effort was not to tear it apart. Our effort was to build it and grow it.
There was a fair share of debating.
Whoever had the idea had to convince the other that the idea was worth doing. If I couldn't convince Joseph, or he couldn't convince me, we didn't do it.
The policy was to treat customers like royalty.
It was part of the water of the business. We drank it, we inhaled it. People were not badly treated, they were well treated. We had a great crew of people. Goodness, we had over 100 buyers working at the store. And we had a lot of talent. We considered ourselves family. We felt very close.
In 1966, Hans was inspired to join the fight of the Six-Day War. Donna convinced him that he could do more at home.
I was perfectly ready to go to Israel and fight. We have been raising money for Israel ever since.
Hans and Donna have traveled to Russia to help Jews fighting oppression in that country. They were constantly followed, and while in a hotel, suddenly their doorknob began to turn.
And I got, what do you do? I mean, you're in Russia, you can't call for help. That's who's turning your doorknob. So I got up, walked to the door, jerked it open, and there's this KGB agent kneeling down. He stood up, he looked at me, I looked at him, he turned around and walked away.
Over the years, the business expanded. Acquisitions of Maison Blanche and other chains left the family with 8 stores in Louisiana and 16 stores in Florida. In 1990, a tough national recession crippled every retailer in the country. Hans's brother Joseph died unexpectedly.
Emotionally, it was draconian. I mean, we were very close, not something you want to wish on anyone. We had planned to go public. That was not going to happen in the recession. I put the stores on the market for sale.
The stores were purchased by Mercantile. After 5 generations, the Sternbergs were no longer merchants. Hans said goodbye to the place he grew up and to the business he had helped to build.
It was difficult, emotionally difficult to drive away, but life moves on, and you have to move on. One of the most important life lessons you can learn is to be able to adapt.
The next chapter for Hans began when Mercantile did not want Starmount, the small insurance company owned by Maison Blanche.
If you take the German Sternberg, Stern being star and Berg being mount or mountain.
The company began with 2 employees and now has several hundred and serves 49 states.
We grow businesses. We don't know any other way to operate. We have a great crew of people. We like developing people. The key in the insurance industry was just a lot of fun. And it's got to be fun or you get bored with it very quickly.
Starmount rapidly outgrew its building, and the family built a new, modern facility on Goodwood. 2 of Hans and Donna's children, Eric and Deborah, are in the insurance business.
Any day now, I expect them to come and tell me it's time. They need my office. That wouldn't surprise me a bit. They're fun to work with. They clearly have taken the reins and are running the business. It's a sheer pleasure.
With the insurance company pointed to the future, Hans decided to capture the family's story for his grandchildren and great-grandchildren. The project became a book, We Were Merchants, now in its 3rd printing.
It's too easy to lose contact with the next generation. I think every life has a story. I thought mine needed to be told a little bit more than some of the others. We still have mountains to climb. We still have things to do. The internet, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, they're all part of today. Being able to adapt and grow with those new technologies is fun. It's really exciting.
Hans feels strongly about his family's legacy as merchants.
You like to see people smiling, you like to see people happy, you like to see people doing what they enjoyed. And that's a department store, that's retailing. We fulfill wishes and dreams.
An immigrant child who grew up to serve his country. He helped build the most successful family-owned department store chain in history, as well as a booming nationwide insurance company. A man dedicated to his family, his heritage, and the community. It is with great honor that Hans Sternberg is inducted into the Baton Rouge Business Hall of Fame.